you doing? Hope you're doing very, very well. I had a bit of a realization the other day, which is that often my best content, or a lot of my really good content, comes from when I was a bit squeezed for time or pressed for time, when I didn't really have a lot of time to make it. Like I have a time crunch to get the video or the podcast or the whatever out. So I'm taking advantage of this because I literally have, what, 5, 6 minutes before I have to leave my house. So basically, here's a quick little thing I want to talk about. It's something that happened the other day, and it's like, really? Can we just clear this up forever, once and for all? Okay. Um, as you guys know or may know, I run a monthly event called Languages and Beer in my city. Basically, it's a time to gather a lot of language learners across the city, and we just hang out, eat, talk, whatever. Some people practice languages. It's just a lot of fun. Very casual. We typically have about, I would say, I don't know, about 50 to 80 people every single month at this point, which is fantastic. Now, here's where we get into some very interesting territory, okay? Um, Often when I go to these events, people ask me a lot of questions. They ask me things like, "Hey, Azren, I'm learning this language. What advice do you have? I want to do this. I'm trying to work this out, figure this out." And I try my best to answer the best that I can. And one person, or a couple people actually, have asked me over the months, "Hey, Azren, I'm learning blah 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 language. I have 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever hours of class a week, once a week, twice a week. How do I practice more? How do I do that?" I get that question often, right? And it's always like, how do I practice more? And my answer is like, I always want to say it like this, and I never say it. It's like, well, the answer is practice more. Like, what do you mean? How do you practice more? They always go like, what do I do? I'm like, well, take more classes. It's an option. Like, listen to music every day. Join meetup groups. I don't know. Go on italki.com. Use HelloTalk. Talk to yourself. Record audios. Like, it's a question. I go, what do you mean? How do you practice more? Like, how do you practice more? How do you have 2 classes a week? You got to practice every day. Let's start there. Ideally, the ideal world, like here's how I've been answering it lately. I always go, okay, well, you want to practice more, right? The first thing you got to problem solve. The first thing, let me give an answer so it clears this up forever, like a very practical answer. Is my camera blurry? I think it's blurry. Anyway, here's a very practical answer. Step one, the ideal is that every day you study 5 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's the ideal. Take classes, listen to music, structure your time in different ways. Okay, don't just sit in a classroom 5 hours a day. But let's say that's the ideal. 5 hours a day, every single day, 5 days a week, or 7 days a week. That's the ideal. Ask yourself, can you do that? Probably you can't. You have work, you have maybe you can't pay for it, maybe whatever. Okay, take a step back. Can you do 6 days a week? No. 5 days a week? No. 4 days a week? No. 3 days? No. 2 days? Okay, I can do 2 days, 5 hours a day, but is that practical? Maybe not. Okay, maybe you should do 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, right? Figure out the time that makes sense. You want to do as much as possible, as many days of the week as possible. Now, everyone's going to land at a different area of practicality. Some people are less busy, some people are more busy, some people have more money, some people have less money, some people are more interested in the language, some people are less interested. There's going to be different variables for every single person, but you got to start there. Aim. That was weird. The door closed by itself. Anyway, aim for 5 hours a day, 7 days a week as your top priority. Try that and work your way backwards. Now, you figured it out. You go, okay, I can do realistically an hour a day, 4 days a week. You figure that out. Great. Now, let's work backwards some more. Ideally, you should be doing everything. Reading, writing, speaking, listening, everything. You should be trying to get everything done, right? Ideally. Now, you only have 4 hours a week, right? So that's all you're doing now. So what are you going to prioritize? Do you care more about listening? Do you care more about writing? Do you care more about speaking? Do you care more about speaking? Like, what do you care more about? Figure that out. Spend a disproportionate, a big amount of your time on that specific aspect. Is it speaking? Great. Is it reading? Great. Is it listening? Great. Now, maybe you might have to take a roundabout way to get there. Maybe you're like, I want to do speaking, but I don't have any resources for speaking. Great. Maybe it's going to have to be listening for a while until you figure out a better resource. But it's just this question of how do I practice more? Like, there's a lot of resources. I can understand the question, and I have empathy. Like, you might not know the resources to use. You might not know. You might not have figured. That's totally fine. I'm happy to help, right? I'm more than happy, right? Super happy to help. And I can help you with resource. I can help you figure that out. I actually love doing it. What I don't like is when we talk about it and it's like you get this good plan, we've really figured it out, and then you go, oh, I'll just keep taking it. Like I don't want to put more time. Like that's what happens a lot. People ask me, like this is what bothers me actually. I'm getting more clarity as I'm talking. What happens is people ask me, how do I practice more than my 1 hour or 2 hours of class a week? How do I practice more? Then we figure out how to practice more, and it's like, hey, we practice more by practicing more. Here's the options. Let's figure this out. And like, well, I don't really want to put more hours in. It's like, well, what? Like, it's almost like one side of them wants to practice more, the other side doesn't want to practice more because it's hard or it's awkward or because it's time consuming or whatever the reason is. And I empathize with the reason. Like, I actually don't care. Like, I understand. I do get it, right? And often the conversation with me helps people realize that, oh, maybe I don't actually want to practice more. I just tell myself that I want to, but when I look at what it actually takes to practice, even if it's an extra 2 hours a week, 3 hours, whatever it is, it's not what you really want, and I totally get it. I guess I just want to make a video to get this off my chest, really. I just want to get it off my chest that, if you want to practice more, the answer is to practice more. Do it more often. More classes, more lessons, more listening, more music, more TV shows, Google like options. Now we have Google, so you can Google stuff. More YouTube videos, more this, more writing, more journaling, more. That's the answer if you want to do more. And you've got to be practical for what fits your lifestyle. It's not going to be the same for everyone. But yeah, I just want to clear that up. Like, just want to make sure it's cleared up, guys. Like, you got to put, like, if you wanted, like, yeah, I don't know. It just like I guess what I'm trying to I guess like the final point we'll make is like you got to start at the most ideal scenario for you. Like what's the most ideal scenario for your language learning? Is it like ideally it should be like full time or close to full time with a variety of different activities that work on all the different things that you need to be able to work on to get to the level that you want to get to. That's the ideal. But it's never possible to have the ideal every single day. That's just not reality for anyone, almost always. Right? So then it's got to work backwards. So I guess that's the big takeaway from this. It's like, yeah, start at the end and work backwards. That's an interesting title. Maybe I should change the title of this video. Anyway, I really got to go. Thanks for watching this. Goodbye. See ya.